bọ́yè gbogbo àwò àbọ̀rù bọ́yè ẹ̀yin babaláwo èèyàn ìbọ̀rù bọ́yè.
Hey, Aboro boy. This is Oluo Fakolade of Idinka Ifa Temple. I want to welcome you at Kabo to our Ifa Temple service, our Ile Juba. We thank you for joining us today. We have a special sermon entitled Pregnant with Purpose. So I want to begin with morning prayers. Mojuba Lorun, Mojuba Leda, Mojuba Lorumai, Mojuba Bobrumle, Mojuba Bobimale, Mojuba Boy, Tembili Solorumari, Mojuba Shungore, Mojuba Gore, Mojuba Fagrams, Mojuba Tor, Mojuba Flori, Mojuba Pela Corriente, Mojuba Philippus Alueto, Mojuba Gonjobi, Mojuba Mie, Mojuba Shamala, Mojuba Shalanko, Mojuba Mitonade, Mojuba Shibu, Mojuba Stage Manade from the first. I want Baba Tia Bada Mojuba to Lucio Daniels, Mary, Doris Hall, Bates Murray Sr., Alfred Daniels, Clifford Daniels, Watkins, Dalia, Zion, and Nago, Mojuba to all of my ancestors. Mojuba to my elders, Ia, Catherine Edmonds, Baba, Robert Edmonds, Mojuba to Baba Ifa, Shulagba de Popola, Mojuba to all of my elders, Irawifa, Mojuba, Felipe Garcia Villamil, Mojuba, Jose Rodriguez, Agbola. Thank you for all your support and teaching. I want to say these morning prayers. Adjogbe. He hears people's pleas and set the pleas. He hears people's pleas and approves of pleas. He talks to people and so that the talk is completely absorbed. He hears people's pleas and set the pleas. Name V5. He hears people's pleas, approves pleas. Name Shodar. He talks to people and shows that the talk is completely absorbed. His name for Orishala. Orishala, you're the person Muslim beings. Person Muslim cannot fail to impress one. Strike frogs when some rainfall. Both frogs when some downpour. It is whatever the accurate original poem to you to the earth accepts. Whatever the big rats of the earth accepts. All what I tell you, if I please accept and approve them. Oh, Tourette, to show gratitude upon gratitude, of our gratitude, to display benevolence upon benevolence, is our benevolence. Whoever does not show gratitude for yes says benevolence, such a person, when I received today's recruiting. These were the declarations we fought to the 401 in Rumela. I'm going to marry your prayer, Daughter Rishuji. These also declarations we fought to a Rumela. I'm going to marry your prayer, Daughter Rishuji. I'm grateful. I see my gratuity. I'm grateful for yes says favor. I shall receive today's gratuity. Oh, Tourette, we are very grateful. I share. Àwa dúpẹ́, àwa bòrè, àwa dúpẹ́ àwa bòrè, àdúpẹ́ àná àwa bòrè, tòní Olódùmarè, àwa dúpẹ́, àwa bòrè, àwa dúpẹ́ àwa bòrè. Adúpẹ́ àná àwa bòrè tó níbo ayíyàní àwa dúpẹ́ àwa bòrè àwa dúpẹ́ àwa bòrè adúpẹ́ àná àwa bòrè tó níbo ẹrú mọ̀lẹ́ àwa dúpẹ́ àwa bòrè àwa dúpẹ́ àwa bòrè adúpẹ́ àná àwa bòrè tó níbo lẹ́gùn lọ́rìṣà. Olodumare and the divinities, we thank you for life, health, strength, food, clothing, and shelter. We thank you for bringing to us all these good things of life and warding off all the negativity. We ask that you would forgive us for any time we might have broken any taboo, anything we might have done wrong or incorrect. We ask for forgiveness in the name of Iro Swetutu. Pounding down without soup can be very difficult to consume. These were the declarations of Ifa Tututu. the child of Agbenemeku. He was full of bad character. He was bad attitude, prevented from it to man. Now comes to this on behalf of to come to beg on behalf of Tutu. How many children does Ifa have that he will cast now? Those who beg on behalf of Tutu. Ifa, we beg you that you would support us. We beg that you would not cast us out. We call on the Odu Ifa, Ogbe Lada. We ask you, Father, that you would ward off our death, ward off our sickness, ward off cases, controversies, ward off fights, ward off witchcraft, ward off negative forces, ward off evil, ward off danger, ward off all the challenges from us at this time. Bring forth to us long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, longevity, prosperity, victory over adversity, peace of mind, joy, healing, success. Push all the evil things out of the way so that we can experience the good life. We ask that you would move my ego out of the way. Move anything that I might have that is an obstacle. Move it out of my way so that we can hear a word from Olodumare, so that we can hear a word of Ifa. Emma kamimene ama, Emma kamimene ano, Emma kamimene adelokun, etamole tori Ifa. Don't me. Ebora timpanini, enebanami, ati Ifa lelejo. Ifa, we also pray for our family members. We ask that you would support our elders. We ask that you would support our children. Push away the challenges from them so that they can experience the good things of life. Have longevity, prosperity, and love. We call on you. We call on Oshetra to manifest these things. Oshetra, tiny of the fetal tubu, the stripe of a chameleon is not big enough to abuse his headgear. Had it been enough to abuse his headgear, I would have taken it home and done my hair with it. These are decoration 5. He was full of bad character. Excuse me, Oshetra, tiny of the fetal tubu. The stripe of a chameleon is not big enough to abuse his headgear. Had it been enough to abuse his headgear, I would have taken it home and done my hair with it. These Ifa's decorations to Arula. We're going on spiritual mission to Jebulin. We call on locust beans to Pemon. Consult and make rich. We call on Osherola. Osherola is a good wall. Oshetra. Akekene Bagisa. The extract sharply against the tree. Cassify for Rumula. And who's receive Iba and a share from Olodumare. If an artist is wealthy, surely be wealthy. Akekene Bagisa. In the mouth of an owl is Azibana and share. In the mouth of an owl. If an artist have joy, you surely have joy. Akekene Bagisa. In the mouth of an owl is Azibana and share. In the mouth of an owl. If an artist have victory, surely victory. Akekene Bagisa. In the mouth of an owl is Azibana and share. In the mouth of an owl. SC. May it be so, surely shall it be. Olodumare, we ask that you would hear our prayers. Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi o, Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi. Bọ́bọ́n tí mo bá màmá wí o, ìrúnmọlẹ̀ ó bà. Ifá ọba o, Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi. Tí mo dúró, tí mo súre, tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀, tí mo súre. Bí mo kúnlẹ̀, tí mo súre, bí mo jókòó, tí mo súre, ire tí mo sùn, orí ti bọ́. Now, if we can put our hands on our head, our ori is our good luck charm. Orí ẹni làrúrẹ̀ ìyá ni ọ̀, orí ẹni làrúrẹ̀ ìyá ni, mọ̀júlọ́ mi ò fà wá mọ́rí. Orí ẹni làrúrẹ̀ ìyá ni. Bọ̀bọ̀rẹ̀ Jásù. Ifá ọba Ọlọ́run. Àtìbà Jájú. Ifá ọba Ọlọ́run. Ó ṣe àrú ìlà Ifá ti bọ́. Olodumare and the divinities, we ask that you would continue to push away death. Push away sickness, push away cases and controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses in our fights, ward off witchcraft and negative forces from us, ward off the haters and the problems, and bring to us long life. Give us wealth, give us good spouses, good children, peace of mind, stable home. Give us the victory, give us the victory, give us the victory. Ashe, Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Agboato. Thank you all once again for joining us. Once again, I'm Oluo Fakolade of Idin Kaifa Temple. And today we have a very special service. Today our service topic, our Ile Juba topic is pregnant with purpose. So I want you, before we even begin, to like and share. And before we begin, as we go through this sermon, it's going to be somewhat interactive. I want you to let us know in the chat where you're from. And also, if there are any prayer requests, we will get to those prayer requests at the very end. I want to send shout outs to the folks on Instagram. Thanks for tapping in. Let us know if the audio is okay this time around. So if everything's good, then let us begin. So today, I don't really have a sermon per se. I have a message. And this message, I want to begin by saying that sometimes the problem that you're going through is not an obstacle. Instead, it may be pregnancy. It is instead preparation. You may be going through a season of no money in order to show you what to do with money once you get it. Your destiny is preparing you to possess it. Some of us are going through a season where we can't have children because at this time our destiny might not be able to trust us with the destined children yet. Our destined spouse yet. Some of us are in a season of downloading and we think it's a curse, but we are really in the kitchen. Your destiny is in the oven. Everyone say, it's baking. It's baking. Your destiny is baking. I'm not ready yet for what my destiny possesses yet. But even this journey is also part of my destiny. So I am pregnant with a purpose. So I want to begin with the Odu Ifa Idigbere. Ifa says, the big snake does not go about with its offspring in search of food. The palm frond drop down and reveal scattered mouth. These were Ifa's declarations to Orunmila when his Awo told him he needed not offer Ebo, neither should he perform any rites unless he should proceed to heaven forthwith. Otun on the right, the Awo of inhabitants of Abba town, Osi on the left, the Awo of Aboshishe town. Both right and hand do not perform Ebo without it being accepted. Both right and left hand do not perform sacrifice without it being endorsed. The Ashe Wele Wele will the Awo who made Ifa for Omokunrin Benu, even if curse and negative spell are cast on an Awo, it will surely come to naught. Ashe Moleri Depenu, Ashe Moleri Depenu. If a curse and a negative spell are cast on an Awo, it can never be effective. Ashe Moleri Depenu, be it curse, spells, none of them can have any effect on me. Ashe Moleri Depenu. Who was it that made me a king? Orisha Oke was the one who made me a king. Orisha Oke, who was it that made me a proud mother? Igbabo. Ifa is the one who made me into a proud mother. Igbabo. So, this Ifa is so powerful. Let me share the story with you before I go into any message of interpretation. Orunmila was going through the community and he was very, very sad. He had cast Ifa and he was told by his Awos that he was going to have to go back to heaven. No Ebo could be offered, nothing. He needed to just go. the equivalent of dying. There was inoperable Odu on the table to the Awos who had cast Ifa for Orunmila, and the situation was inoperable. There's nothing they could do about it. There's nothing Orunmila could do about it. He needed to just leave and go back to heaven. Orunmila was walking through the streets, and he took his one she-goat and his 600 cowries to the home of his friend Eroko Agunwegejede to tell his friend goodbye. So he went to his friend's house and he was crying, telling his friend goodbye. Orunmila was only going to spend the night at his friend's house one night, and then he was going to make his way back to heaven in the morning. So as he left his friend's house, he was on his way to Orun. And he met Aruko Yalegun Odiosa. This is actually Orisha Oke. It was a woman. And this woman was initiated to Ifa, and she had a good understanding of what Ifa had to say. She asked Orunmila, where was he going? And he lamented in his tears, and he said, I'm going back to heaven. She asked him why. And he told her how he had consulted Ifa and was advised that he didn't need to offer any abo. He didn't need to do anything. All he could do was go right back up to where he had come from, go right back to heaven. And Orunmila cried and he lamented, and Aruko Yalegun Odi Osa asked him to go back. She said, go back. That this Odu said that it wasn't that he was going to die. In actuality, he was going to be bestowed a title from his ancestors that would bring honor to him and honor to his ancestors. He was going to become the Alakotum. She told Orunmila, offer Ebo with one she-goat and 600 cowries. That was the Ebo. And Orunmila complied. And then he turned to go back home. And as Orunmila was about to leave and go back to his earthly house, his snuff pouch fell and his opwele was in it, and it mistakenly fell on the ground. And when it hit the ground in front of Orisha Oke, it was Idigbere. And Orunmila looked at her and he said, Iya, you are on your cycle. You have been looking for the fruit of your womb. He said, this Ifa says that you are going to be blessed with a child. And she was taken aback. She said, yes, this Ifa that you speak of is true. I am on my cycle. I am trying to have a child with my spouse. He told her, you need to offer Ebo with one she-goat and also 600 units of money. She offered the Ebo. Orunmila went his direction and Orisha Oke went in her direction. Not long after, as Orunmila made it back to his home, his family was very happy and excited to see him. And they began to say, we're ready for you to receive this title of Alakotum. Also, I forget to say that when Orunmila was told that he would receive this title, Orisha Oke also said that there would be 6 individuals who would come and they would be trying to kill him with negative chants and charms and ashe. So all he needed to do was offer the Ebo and do what he was supposed to do. So as Orunmila made it back, it became the time for his elevation, for his ceremony, to become the Alakotu. And as he was there, when you go to make these ceremonies, people will begin praying and saying great prayers on you, saying great things to you. And so Orunmila made it there. And after he got his title, the people were coming and they're saying their prayers. And then all of a sudden, these 6 individuals showed up. And they said, Orunmila, open the Ifa. We want to say a prayer for you. Sometimes people who say they're praying for you aren't praying for you. They're preying on you. So the 6 individuals, they began to pray. But what they were praying, they were saying, we want Orunmila to die. We want Orunmila's children to die. We want his family to die. We want no good things to happen to Orunmila. And they were putting the ashe up to their mouth and they were chanting curses on Orunmila. And soon, Orunmila was quite surprised. They asked him to take 6 kola nuts out for divination, and they began to chant these negative things and use ashe on Orunmila. Eshu then came into the picture, and he told Orunmila, hold up. Orunmila, do not keep quiet. What you should reply with is this. And Orunmila began to say, even if you curse me, even if you curse or bring negative spells, those are cast on an awo, it shall come to naught. If a curse and a negative spell are cast on an awo, it can never be effective. Be it curse, spells cannot have any effect on me. And Orunmila began to chant his retort to their curse. Orunmila then became very prosperous. On the other end, Orisha Oke conceived. Her and her husband conceived a child, and 9 months later, they gave birth. After the birth, Orunmila he was so excited, he was like, I have to go and tell this Iyanifa what she did. So he was going to meet her, and Orisha Oke was like, I have to go and tell Orunmila what he did. And they were coming to meet each other, didn't know, and they came and to each other's presence, and Orisha Oke showed Orunmila her child. And Orunmila told her and demonstrated that he had become the title holder in his town. So, first point of the day is, I will outlive this adversity. By the grace of God, I will outlive this. Sometimes we must go head to head with the challenge. Sometimes the challenge is so tough that it's either me or the challenge. It's either you beat the cancer or the cancer beats you. Either you beat poverty or the poverty beats you. Either you beat the depression or the depression beats you. By the grace of Olodumare, I will outlive this. You ever been through a challenge so tough that you thought you were going to die? Better yet, ever been through a challenge so tough that you wanted to die? In this verse, Orunmila was written off. There was no Ebo he could do. There was no Akunlebo he could do. No Akoshe he could take. He just needed to go back to heaven. It's over. Gone on, Orunmila. Orunmila had nothing to do. He was advised, though, by an Iyanifa who knew Ifa. And she interpreted the Odu correctly. Her interpretation of Ifa saved Orunmila. Her interpretation saved Orunmila's incarnation and, in essence, saved his earthly life. The 6 enemies came against Orunmila, and Orunmila did not punch him. He didn't kick him what he did is he prayed and rejected every curse that they had for him. Sometimes you don't need to do anything but pray. Second point, pray. Everybody say pray. Everybody write pray in the chat. Pray, 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 pray. Orunmila prayed and he rejected their curses. You may curse me, but I will pray to Olodumare. I don't have to curse my enemies. I am in alignment with God. You curse me and you might wake up dead. Curse me and see what happens. I was minding my own business, doing Olodumare's will, and you messed with me. Everybody can't say that they gonna win. But can't nobody do you like Eshu. No one can do you like the Irumone when you mess with their children. So I want to move on to another Ifa. And this verse comes from Ogbe Wayin. Ifa says, if you were denied your rightful share, do not let it perturb you at all. Whatever an Awo will consume will never be scarce at the feet of Ifa. This was Ifa's declaration to Yodunbayin. It shall be sweet in the end, the first child of Iwuro, Bitterleaf, when he was in the midst of enemies and misery and want, and he was advised to offer Ebo, he complied. By the special grace of Olodumare, my situation shall be sweet in the end. By the special grace of my own Ifa, my situation shall be sweet in the end. Before long, not too far, join us in the midst of endless joy. Come and perceive all array of life. So Yudumbayin was going through some serious challenges. The challenges were so great that Yudumbayin even believed that he was doing the wrong thing, that he was going in the complete wrong direction in life. Everyone he knew was succeeding, but he, on the other hand, saw little to no success at all in his life. And he had been initiated for 15 years. He had been initiated to Ifa. Anybody ever been initiated to Ifa? And then as soon as you get initiated, you start seeing all the mess. You might have been doing good before, but you get initiated to Ifa, and then your life just starts going down. Yudumbayin, he experienced that. And he had been studying Ifa for 10 years before he got initiated. So he was a learned Awo. He was doing all this and he had nothing to show for it. He was dedicated, he worked hard, he was honest, he was benevolent, but he was still poor, lonely, childless, and depressed. He was not a cheater, he was not a liar, nor did he do any sort of bad deeds. He never embellished on anything. He was a straightforward person, but he had nothing to show for his good life. He himself was being cheated. He went to his work and people were bilking him out of his funds. He was being denied his rights. He even felt that he was possibly suffering from a curse. He thought that witches were working evil against him. He thought that he had come to the world and chosen the wrong destiny. He was ready to give up on Ifa. He thought that if it wasn't this witchcraft, like I said, he thought it was a bad destiny. So he decided, let me go for Ifa consultation. He went for Ifa consultation and he asked, why is it that I have not received my rightful share? Even though I am dedicated, I'm honest, I'm humble, truthful, I'm benevolent, why am I subjected to all these attacks from witches and wizards and all these evil things? And the Awo told him, Yudumbayin, your situation is tough at this time, but I promise you it will be much better in the end. Your tears will give way to success. Your life is like that of the bitter leaf. Iwuro, when you first taste bitter leaf, those of you who've tasted bitter leaf, it's very bitter in the mouth. But as you begin to digest the situation, as you begin to digest the bitter leaf, it becomes sweet. Things are bitter at this point, but it will soon turn to sweetness. Yildum Bayin was told to make a soup of bitter leaf and offer Ebo. He was also told to maintain his faith, his patience, and hope. The Babalao even told Yudum Bayin that he needed to know that it wasn't witchcraft. It wasn't a bad destiny. He said, all you need to do is stay the course and it will become success. Initially, Yudumbayin went back, he offered his abo and he went back and things stayed the same for about a week or so. But he maintained his faith and soon his life gently transformed. Those who supported him began to defend him against those who were cheating him. He soon then was able to accumulate money and he found a good spouse. And shortly after that, he and his spouse were able to have children. As he assessed his life a year and a half later, he realized that in that amount of time, he had moved from poverty to surplus. He had moved from having no spouse to now he has a spouse, to having no children, to his wife giving birth to a child. Sometimes you got to sit back and realize, man, this is a period. You got to take a chronological order of, you got to look at the timeline of your life and analyze what happens. And oftentimes, after we've offered a bow, after we've done everything that we can do, we'll realize, man, what was I doing this time last year? Where I've come to this space, and this time last year, I didn't have a house. I didn't have, and this year, I've had a house for at least 3 months. I've got a good spouse. Take an assessment, and you'll be surprised. Yudumbayin was a good man. You ever been doing good and you couldn't make ends meet? Been doing good and the world just treated you bad? You've been lied on. You've been persecuted. You've been, people have passed false rumors and lies about you. People and the world have heaped BS on top of you, and you're laying there under the funk and the poop. But you must remember that all that is fertilizer. All that fertilizer, it also makes the roses grow. It makes the crops grow. Compost, the real nasty, stinky compost, is what makes incredible crops, what makes incredible, nutritious vegetables. Sometimes you have not been buried, you've been planted. Sometimes the foolishness ain't foolishness, is just fertilizer. Olodumare is giving you fertilizer to make you great later. It's fertilizer. This walk with your destiny is like being pregnant. Having a baby growing inside of you for 9 months. Sometimes some women's ankles swell because of the burden, because of the fluid retention. Your digestion slows down to enable the fetus to be nourished. And that may give you indigestion. It might give you irritable bowel syndrome. It might give you heartburn. At a certain point, the baby might get so big that the baby starts tap dancing on your bladder. So you got to run to the restroom. You tap dancing on your kidneys, tap dancing on your intestines, etc. At moments, sending you to the bathroom in the middle of the night, or vomiting throughout the day, and then the heightened sense of smell and the aversions and the hormones, the uncomfortability of it all, is this baby moving things out of the way to make space for it to grow, like your destiny. But also, like your destiny, all those things are normal. They're normal signs of a pregnancy. Why would being in possession of your destiny be any different? It's uncomfortable. Your destiny and the process of trying to manifest it is uncomfortable. Sometimes when you start that business, you will be broke for a year, but you can't stop. Sometimes when you're seeking a spouse, you might have to vet a bunch of scrubs and potential suitors, and they may not be right. It's a process. Sometimes after you get initiated to Ifa, you don't feel like doing the things you did before. Your family, your friends, they might look at you strange. You got to say something like, I'm following my purpose. Nothing personal as to why I can't eat turkey on Thanksgiving. I'm following my destiny. And sometimes I have to deny myself of the things that I used to enjoy in the past, because at this time they are not for me. Yudum Bayin was encouraged to keep hope and faith. And then my last and final point is, you gotta push. Everybody say push. Push. Everybody push. You have to push. You got to push through. You have to push out the baby. You got to push out your destiny. When you get to the place where your destiny has moved and stretched and made room inside of you, inside your life, now it's time for it to come into the world. You found your purpose. Ashe, you got initiated. You are following it, going through the hurdles and the hoops and the challenges. And now it's time to fulfill that destiny, to stand in your purpose, to be what Olodumare wants you to be. And you go through that process. And when you get to that point of fulfilling, at the initial stages, it's like labor. You have to push. Everyone say push. You must birth that destiny. Imagine a pearl made inside of an oyster. When an irritant like a grain of sand or worm enters the oyster covers the irritant with calcium carbonate. Imagine only 1 out of 10,000 oysters make pearls. And it takes like 6 months to 20 years for a pearl to be formed. But imagine that beautiful thing is formed out of an irritant. It's formed out of a foreign body entering into the oyster. You have to create. You have to push. A diamond is formed when the pressure is about 50,000 times that of the Earth's surface. And the temperature is 1600 Celsius. Diamond is formed in a hot and pressurized environment. You are not buried, you're planted, so push. Pearls and diamonds are made from irritation and pressure. Why? What you think is a curse is merely the catalyst. Don't you think that the oyster might think, oh man, this foreign body, it's a curse. It is a curse to me. Yet it is transforming inside to become something beautiful. Don't you know that piece of that diamond, those minerals down under the ground, under so much pressure, they might think, oh man, this is a cursed lot that I have. But it is a thing that transforms them into something incredible and beautiful and miraculous. It is the thing that brings the miracle. So I say, push, press on, keep pushing. Your miracle is right there. Keep pushing so that you can give birth to your destiny. Abora Boye, thank you so much for joining us today. I want to also conclude by saying, please, please, please like and share. If you are uplifted by any of the messages that we've been sharing here at Edin Kai Ifa Temple for our Ile Juba service or anything like that, if you feel empowered, please feel free to donate, like, and share, as I said. Also, those of you who are initiated, I want to announce that we also have a program called the Omoawo program. So if you are initiated to Ifa and you would like to learn more about this, you can communicate with me on the number below. That number is 323-244-1133, or you can visit our temple website. You can learn more and become you can learn what it takes to become a priest and also begin training to be a practicing Babalawo or Ianifa, the Omoawo program. Some of the details are on the website, but in order to be accepted, you will need to communicate with me and also visit that website. Also, if you are interested in becoming a member of Edin Kai Ifa Temple, feel free to join. You can also contact us via that same phone number or go to the website for more information. Also, those of you who want to assist us throughout the week, I devote the days of Tuesday and Thursday to Ifa divination and offering Ebo. So if you would like to participate in those things, communicate with us, let us know. And this week, the things that we will need will be kola nut. So if you want to send kola nuts or orogbo, you can donate those things to support what we're doing. Gin, palm oil, all of those things can be donated and brought. And also you can come and assist on the times that we're doing that. So those of you who are nationwide, you can assist in that way. And those of you who are here, you can come and experience Ebo and do those things as well. Another announcement, Itadogun. Itadogun will be tomorrow. So I'll be casting Ifa in the morning. So Itadogun will be tomorrow. And just tune in. I'm going to be posting it on the same platforms and channels, the same as the temple service. So coming up, things that you can do. We've got two main events. One, on February 10th, I believe 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., I will be moderating a talk on a subject that I just assisted in curating at the William Grant Still Arts Center. And I curated, myself and a good friend, Monica, she did a ton of the work. We did a curation of like a museum exhibit of artwork and dolls based upon ancestral African American hoodoo tradition, conjure tradition. So if you have not seen it and you are in the Los Angeles area, please go visit. The exhibit comes down on February 10th. So it ends on February 10th. So please go and visit the William Grant Still Art Center and check it out. Also, on next Friday, I believe, this February 10th, we were doing, I think it's Saturday, excuse me. February 10th, we're doing a video Zoom chat. So those of you who are nationwide, you can tap in that way. I'll upload the flyer for that. Also, along with that, on February 16th, I will be conducting an ancestral Olokun ritual at UCLA, on UCLA campus at the Fowler Museum. I'm also featured at the Fowler Museum. They have done an exhibit called The House Was Too Small, and it is on the subject of African traditions, Yoruba traditions, and how they migrated throughout the diaspora. So I helped to curate the Ifa section. So I'll be doing a talk, a ritual, and also a lecture there at the museum on February 16th. I'll post the flyer as soon as I get them. So also those are two things that you can go see, you can visit, and you can also go there and learn more about Ifa. And you can also go to our temple website and learn more about what Ifa is. And also coming up, we're going to have an herbal wellness class with Ianifa Wemumo. Also, she's an herbalist, a midwife, and a registered nurse, Ifa Wemumo Zaire Saab. So we'll be doing that. I'm waiting for an actual date, but it's going to be classes. So stay tuned. We're going to have a series of classes around herbal healing, herbal wellness, and she's going to assist and do that as well. So please stay tuned. We've got a lot of stuff coming up. All right, so I'm looking in the chat. It's a lot of stuff in the chat. So let me go to the chat. Man, it's got like 72 messages. I'm happy. All right. Aboshishe agboto. Ianifa ifa amila ashe. Aboshishe agboto. Yeah. Annette, Aboshishe Agboto, Robin, my sister. Hey, Baba Anthony of Okara Shode Temple in Miami. Good to see you. Good to see you, Alexis. Thank you for joining us. Aboshishe Agboto, Ashe Omoyo. Oh yeah, Batala. I think that's my sister again. Aboshishe Agboto. Good to see you. Alafia, Ifa blessings to you, Allison. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Thank you. Ashe, Trinidad and Tobago in the house. Thank you to my wife, Aboshishe Agboto. All right, Nico. Good to see you. Ashe. Hey, Aboshishe Agboto. Yes, your destiny is baking. It's cooking, y'all. My son said, "What?" I'm asking him, "What are you doing?" Cooking. It's cooking. My destiny is cooking. Ashe, Ashe. Good to see you, Mark Anthony. Aboshishe Agboto. Queen. Good to see you. Ashe. Ashe. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. I'm just going to keep uploading these. Ashe. Ashe. Thank you all for joining us and participating in the chat. I know there's folks on Instagram. Thank you all for joining us as well. And okay, this looks like a new person. Kimberly Malone, good to see you. Thank you so much. All right, hey Arthur, Ade, yes, we gotta pray. Okay, Egbe Yemi, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Ashe. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. All right. The Ifa way of saying. Ashe. All right. All right. I'm glad you stumbled upon this message as well. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you all for joining us again. Yeah, I'm so happy that people are communicating here, and hopefully I'm not doing I'm excuse me. Hopefully I'm doing justice to the people who have uploaded chats. I always want to communicate. Hey, what's up, Tonda Seasway? Abo Shisha Boto. Good to see you on here. Thank you for joining us. All right. A knee in the rib. Yes. That pregnancy life is tough and rough and beautiful all at the same time. A friend of mine once said that motherhood is like holy hell. Fatherhood too, but motherhood is like holy hell. Yes, you got to push through, y'all. Let's push through. Push through until you get a breakthrough. Push through. Ashe. Ashe. Thank you so much. Yes, so many good affirmations. I try to affirm the positive. Ashe. I'm thankful, Egbeyemi. May Olodumare continue to bless you. So many blessings. So many blessings. All right. Thank you all for joining us. All right. Okay, yes. Yes. Thank you so much, Ianiko, for posting that. All right. I think I made it through all of them. Shay. So we good. We good. We good. All right. Shout outs to everyone. Okay, so why don't we end with prayer? All right. Olodumare, we thank you for life. We thank you for health. We thank you for food, clothing, shelter. We thank you for our spouses, our children. We thank you for all the wonderful things that you provided for us. We ask that you would continue to remove the negative things that are in our path and in our way. Help us so that we will always, always remember that we will outlive the drama. Help us to pray our way through the problem. And also help us to push our way through any issue that has come to us. Give us the victory this week, not tomorrow, but today. Help us to experience the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things of life. Ashe, thank you all very much. We love you. Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Agboto. We'll see you next time. Ashe.